I've been seeing posts about using AI for on-page SEO. Is it viable
Man,
to
it's
scrape articles from similar niche sites and use AI to switch up the content a bit before posting to your site? It's definitely possible, and
yeah, there's a
people are
lot of
doing
this
it.
stuff going on.
Um,
Will you pull up that post that I put up from that other group? Because it is pretty interesting. A lot of people have been asking about AI content, and neither Chris or I was really using it. I think we're gonna maybe dabble with it a bit, but it looks like people who are after that type of business model are getting it to work here and there. This is a post from another group, but since they actually gave me, the domain info here in the post, and I was able to audit looking at what they were doing, etc., then that would warrant sharing it with you, with all y'all out there too. It is really interesting. The site is smashing it. And apparently, they're doing it nefarious ways using a lot of bots, a lot of auto generated content, and a lot of um, content that's ripped, basically, from PAAs and things like
yeah,
that.
I'm not gonna read off the whole thing because there's a lot here, but
Yeah. Yeah.
as far as your question is
You can
going,
find it in the group,
you're
though.
you're dabbling in some pretty I mean, you would consider this, black hat stuff. You're using lots of automated kind of stuff. You're scraping, you're slightly changing it up. Yeah, it's kind of like the
You're trying
return.
minimum effort. Yeah.
It's like the
Sorry.
return of like black hat on page, right? Which is something I feel like we haven't really seen for quite a long time.
Yeah, maybe like
Um,
ripping content in local SERPs, but like back in the days of spun content raking for national terms and stuff like that, I would say this is the first time that people are really excited about that again.
so what I will say is I know that some people are doing it, and I know that it can work. What I also have to say is that just be aware of what you're getting, what you're doing, and just be aware that it at least appears, Google came out and actually said AI content is now against our guidelines, meaning, and they actually specifically said we can give you a penalty for using AI content. So, um, just like link building, if you're, for example, we like to use PBN links every now and then, which is definitely considered black hat, but there are kind of safe ways to use it and whatnot. Just know that this definitely falls under that realm. And I don't think Google has really caught up yet. I don't think they can really do too much about it right now. They could manually inspect, but I don't really know how they're going to make that kind of determination with any kind of certainty. I don't really know. Just
God, could you
just
imagine
know that it
setting
carries some
that
risk.
team up?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm like, they're gonna have a hard time, I think,
For sure.
getting a hold of this beast, quite honestly. But something we haven't talked about in a long time is that here at Sir Links, we do preach longevity in the SERPs, and we teach SEO from a perspective that we use, right? From recipes that we use. There are a million different ways to skin the proverbial SEO cat, but what we're really big on here, even though we will talk about black hat techniques, and we're definitely gray hats, is more be precautious and set yourself up for long-term success with your goals and with your money sites, etc.
Yeah. At the same time, it's getting to the point
Yeah,
where
stuff can be
it's getting to
fun.
the point where I'm like, this sounds pretty cool. Like some of the stuff they're
Yeah.
doing, to the point where like
But
I
see,
actually
then
want
you,
to mess with it. But
yeah,
it would be like its own thing.
yeah,
I wouldn't do it on an established site I already have like invested a lot of like time and energy and effort into.
yeah.
It would be like a new project that I would just completely expect to just blow up at any second. And it would just be its own thing kind of contained there. I wouldn't just start ramping it out, everywhere. And especially not on
It'd
like
be
client sites or something like that if you're working with clients.
It'd be funny to accidentally kind of blow up a random project site like that, and all of a sudden you're making, what did this guy say? He was making like 50 grand a month or some crap like that.
Yeah, so the post that we're looking at
Like,
right here, and if you're
okay.
not in our Facebook group, definitely go over to our Facebook group, SEO Roundtable, or you just search for Sir Links a Lot and join our group. Um, and yeah, because I think it's going to be kind of hard to read on here. Just the quality of
Yeah.
the image is not very good, and we're trying to like blow it up here for you. Um, but he's saying the website makes 50 grand, $50,000. I guess that's pounds. That's not euros, pounds. $50,000 or 50,000 pounds per month by scraping featured snippets and people also ask answers and reposting them on their website. Blah blah blah. So they use an expired domain. They scrape tons of people also ask questions and the answers for them. They group these questions by hundreds of thousands of topics. I'm guessing they probably use something like that keyword Cupid tool to just completely do it automatically,
Right.
so they don't have to do it themselves. Just automate everything, right? Um, they've used They've reused the also asked questions and the stolen content they scraped to generate dozens of subheadings on each page.
We're not advocating doing that either, okay? Just
Now they
yeah.
have hundreds of thousands of pages, blah, blah, blah. They've used YouTube search API to automatically get the top 4 videos for each query. I mean, these guys like really like, I really respect it.
I mean,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
I
do it, or
respect it
I
too.
might try it as a fun thing,
It's a
but
different level.
and it's not even
Well,
finished
no,
yet.
we would never rip content.
Blah blah blah. And yeah, I think they're just monetizing it all with ads because essentially the
Yeah,
content's going to be so
Ezoic, I think.
bad. The content's so bad because it's AI that it, it's not going to convert, right? People are going to be like, this is gibberish, and or just it's bad, and so they're just completely monetizing with ads, so it doesn't have to convert. Or yeah, I don't really, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, it's just going to have a lower conversion, but when you've got, 1.5
yeah,
million monthly visitors or something like that, then,
they don't have to
you
trust your
know,
content to convert, essentially.
yeah, little conversion's a little conversion
Um, blah blah blah.
in the form of 50,000 pounds a month.
Anyway, that's just kind of something we've been looking at. It's definitely like an undertaking. There's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
Even just the scraping part. That's you're getting into some pretty like advanced stuff that not a lot of people actually know how to do. Especially if you've been you haven't been doing kind of black hat stuff for some time now. Um, but yeah, just add the disclaimer one more time. Uh, it's working right now. For some people, and it can be working big, but you just have to know that it is considered black hat by Google. They can penalize you, and I would expect them to at least try to fight it. I don't really know how they're going to be honest, but
Yeah.
I mean they are Google, so let's see if they can
Having,
figure it out or not.
yeah, they got the money.
For sure.
Having said that too, just just in case you're kind of thinking to go on this route, out of all the people that I know that have messed with AI content, none of them have really stuck to it, except for a couple people that said they were doing it in groups, specifically with YouTube too, and they said they were doing well in our group. Sorry. And then, of course, I saw this one and put it up there. But yeah, like Chris said, there is a lot of undertaking involved in building something like that out, and you are going to have like a specific set of talents or know-how, and then be able to execute on what is a pretty intricate little plan if you want to do something like
And
that.
also, I guess we should also interject. Do we really know if the site's making $50,000 a month, or is it someone,
Right,
doing some guru stuff and trying to,
right. What? Yeah, well, I don't think that guy that put that post up is the owner of the
yeah,
site. I think
correct.
he was just
It's
kind
like
of looking through
passing
it
it
and he
on to
talked to
someone
him, right?
else.
Yeah, but what I can say is if you pop that URL into Ahrefs, it's definitely impressive, regardless of whether the 50,000 pounds is accurate or
Oh,
not.
does he have the?
Because I think it was close to like 1.5 million. Yeah, the URL's in there. That's why I was okay with sharing
I do
this.
not see the URL at all.
It's separated. I can't really read it.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not seeing the website. Oh no, here we go.
It's a weird. It's a weird name.
I guess we could pull it up since they're just sharing it
Yeah,
publicly.
pull it up. Yeah, because it's really. I mean, it's pretty cool.
So here's the actual website that we were just talking about. Um, yeah. So, right off the bat, it's looking, like something a robot would generate, right?
Yeah, some kind of
They don't,
directory,
they
right?
don't, they don't even use capital letters on the like titles and stuff because it's all just that level of automation, right? Um,
Yeah.
let's see this. How do organisms that are not autotrophs get energy? Oh my God, look at this table of contents. These are all just the people also ask questions that they're
Wild.
ripping. So so yeah, all they it looks like all they did was they just used SEO Minion to scrape people also ask for probably just a ton of just whatever they could get their hands on. Just probably had SEO Minion working overtime scraping. People also ask for like 20 different niches or something. And then yeah, they just plugged them into Keyword Cupid, probably had their unlimited plan or whatever, into Keyword Cupid, and they literally just made entire. I thought there was more to the articles than just doing that, but it looks like all they did. And then they used something to. I don't know if they're actually posting the article themselves or if they have some kind of other automation um,
I'm sure
doing
it's all
that.
automated.
But yeah, I mean that's all they did, and they used the AI to rewrite it, I guess. Um, God, this is
Oh,
this
I.
is fun.
Mm,
And then they got the,
mm.
the videos down here at the bottom that they got from YouTube, related searches. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and pull it up in Ahrefs. But yeah, as far as like the actual website goes, I mean, this is very bare bones stuff. Um, I guess the only part I wouldn't really know, or I don't know too much about, is actually the automation of actually getting it onto the website. Like actually posting it and everything in the on page and
Yeah, I
everything.
mean,
Because I'm sure they're not
I'm.
doing it all themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I wouldn't think so, but
give me 1 second. I'll get Ahrefs pulled up on this thing. All right, so here's Ahrefs for it. It's like, DR50, 10K referring domains. You can go ahead and assume those aren't the best backlinks in the world if they got 10K and they got DR50.
unless it's, oh yeah,
What? 5.4
I was gonna say unless it's an
million
age domain
traffic.
or something. 5.4. Yeah, I was under by quite a bit. Um,
Jesus.
pretty cool.
Um,
So yeah, it
this is
looks
something
like
to keep an
three
eye on,
percent
really.
conversion on. Yeah,
Um,
see how long it'll last, or I
we can
mean,
check out their
shoot,
backlinks real quick. I just
might,
kind of want to see
might
what they're
be up
doing.
10 years
I
from
guess you
now.
can't see my screen, can you? Or are you looking on your own?
I'm looking on
Okay.
my own.
I'm just pulling up the backlinks real quick. See a bunch of foreign stuff in here. I mean, yeah, just the links are all over the place, right? But, the site probably um, is all over the place with their content as well. Um, let's see some of the biggest keywords they're ranking for. It might be kind of interesting. Ahrefs going a little bit slow. Please bear with us. Pig's scientific name. I think it's 122K per month. Calendar 2022, they're ranking number 1 for. What even is that? Interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool little project. I went down the rabbit hole with it for a little while when I first saw it because I thought what you kind of said, which was that it was probably like a guru style post, but no, it's a cool project worth looking through and auditing.
Yeah, and they're just all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like, it's mainly based on, probably some very basic
This
keyword
they're ranking number
research.
1 for how do birds have sex?
I kind of want to see what
How
that
to
looks like.
become a slave. Wow. They're number 1 for how to become a slave. That has 2000 search volume. That is a search I did not ever. Wow,
I
okay.
will say this, that question you were just talking about,
Which question?
how do birds have sex?
Uh-huh.
They're not showing up anywhere in
Well,
the
it's Ahrefs could be
SERPs that
lagging
I'm looking at.
behind. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm kind of curious about. Well, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Let's see, what's another one? Calendar
Yeah.
2022. I'll see. Calendar 2022. I'm not seeing them up here either. That's kind of strange.
Right? Yeah. No.
Um,
No.
yeah, they're not even on page 1 for it.
Are they even indexed still?
That'd be really pretty funny if they were.
If
They
yeah,
are,
we just look it up and it's like,
it looks
okay,
like
well,
they are no longer indexed.
oh, okay.
Well, there
Well,
you go, ladies and
so
gents.
there you go. Yeah. Now, mind you, yeah, that's kind of cool that I mean, it sucks for the person that made it, but it sounds like they
They flew a little
what
too close
I
to the
like
fire.
I I like to call it robbing the bank. When people are designing assets that are intended to burn up, right, over the course of fast time, but they know they can make X amount of money in that, SERP robbery or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if they really were making 50,000 pounds a month, then I wouldn't be surprised if they've got a whole lot more of websites similar to this, or maybe they're going
Sure.
to try some other stuff.
Churn and
But yeah,
burn.
it does look like they burnt this one up. So that post, I think, is only a couple of weeks
Yeah.
old, and it most certainly was indexed when I checked it out. Um,
I think it's only like a week
this
old.
may
That was like
also
last week, I think.
be
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. So
So
maybe it was only up for yeah.
so let's go back. Let's see how long it lasted for.
Yeah. There we go.
So yeah, I mean this just illustrates our point, right? And we don't know why it got de-indexed.
Could probably guess,
I mean,
but
it's a combination, it's pretty much always a combination of things. It's usually not just like one thing,
uh,
or in a lot of cases. I mean, it can be like one thing if you're just doing like really horrible link building. But in this case, they're probably doing, it's really aggressive, unnatural link building in combination with extremely aggressive, unnatural website building. It's just completely unnatural everything. Um, here. So
yeah, especially when you're reading that like a whole a lot of the content isn't even rewritten. It's just straight ripped.
yeah. Well, no, they
You
rewrite
know.
it. They rewrite it. They said
Oh,
yeah,
they
they use
do?
the AI to rewrite it. Like
Okay.
they use, I guess, Minion or whatever to scrape all the PA that people also asks and answers, and then they have the AI rewrite the answers. But yeah, I mean, it lasted a few months. Uh, if they were making, $50,000 a month, if this was truly all automated, and I guess we don't really know what they spent on link building either, but I'm guessing it wasn't exactly the, super duper premium link building if they built 10K referring domains real fast. Um, I would. What
Even
would
if they
you?
just,
I mean, I have no idea what budget on something this would run like.
e-
What would you think?
I feel like somebody that's doing something like this, right, is going to kind of understand how to build on these recipes. It's probably not their first rodeo when it comes to automating websites and doing things like this that are more black hat. So my guess is it's based more in know-how than it is with a super heavy budget. If they're running a bunch of bots, etc., then I guess hypothetically, they're paying for whatever tools, then using their know-how to get up in the SERPs. But
I like the budget wouldn't
imagine
be that
even if it,
much.
I don't think so either. I would say under five
Yeah,
grand.
that's what I was under
But I think it's
5K.
even less than that, most
Yeah, I'd say
likely.
probably
But
it depends on the links really, but yeah, it could definitely be
yeah,
under 2.5 even.
and then if they run their own hardware and stuff like that, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they probably need I'm not really sure how they're doing all the scraping and stuff. I don't know
yeah.
what that would entail, but
But hypothetical, like, let's say it even cost them 10 grand, and let's say they are doing the guru thing and they made 30,000 off it total, like 3x your money. I think they probably did a lot better than that.
yeah. I mean, they were saying 50K
So
a
it's
month.
like, my guess is they probably found something pretty sweet in those few months.
Anyway, we kind of went down a bit of a rabbit hole in this, but I'm glad we did. This was probably
Yeah,
my
same.
favorite little live stream moment we've had in a while because this is it's just interesting stuff. It's new, and
Yeah.
it's just
And I
fun
feel
to see
like,
that it already crashed that fast.
this is something that a lot of people that I speak to and I've spoken to over the years too, right? Like they don't seem to really understand that as an SEO, your job more than anything is going to be to explore what's going on, to learn about these new things, and to kind of just build up off of the things that you see. It's like taking a nature walk and you're a bird watcher or something like that. The more you dive in to Ahrefs or whatever tools you have to see what makes a website tick or break, the better you're going to be at coming up with recipes that are going to, help influence your success as an SEO. So get in there, start learning. If you're a quote serious SEO and you don't have a subscription, Ahrefs, SEMrush, or Majestic, am I missing one there? I feel like those three are the only three that I really,
Just Ahrefs.
Yeah, that's majority of what I get, but I can understand if some people can't afford it or something, because they are pretty pricey, And again, we say it at every show, hit Ahrefs up and let them know that we're supporting them so much, and then maybe if nothing else, no sponsorship or something, they just help us out with an account.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.